Hey guys, how's it going? This is Autobot JCB here again for another How to Transform video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to transform the 2005 Transformer Cybertron Snarl and the Transformer Cybertron Backstop. As you can see here, Snarl's beast mode is that of a wolf, and Backstop's beast mode is that of a rhino. Also, if you guys notice, both of these guys come with green Cyberplanet keys, indicating that they are from the Jungle Planet, which is ruled by the Dragon Scourge. Now, what I think is interesting about these characters is the fact that Backstop is actually is stated as the teacher of both Snarl and Scourge. Now, one of my other videos, I did the characters Brimstone and Undermine. I don't know if they ever stated in the series that those two were also trained by Backstop. If they were, feel free to let me know down in the comments just to clear up any confusion. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you a couple of details that these guys have while they're in their beast modes, and then I will show you their cyber key abilities and then how to transform them. So for right now, we're going to move Backstop off to the side, and we're going to bring Snarl in for a close-up. Like I said a little bit ago, Snarl's beast mode is that of a wolf. I have to admit, I love the dark blue, light blue, and the white with a little bit of yellow kind of sprinkled in. It gives him a lot of appeal, in my opinion. As you can see here, he's got the Autobot symbol on his hip right there, and he's got his tail will actually go up and down. It does, I guess it does kind of go back and forth a little bit, so he be an excited dog wagging his tail. One thing I think is interesting is that whereas most figures for the Transformer Cybertron line, when you insert their cyber key, it will actually lock their stuff into place. Snarl's does not actually do that. I'm going to get into that in just a second, but one thing I wanted to show you is that he has these two clips right here, and these are actually cyber key storage. I don't really know of whole lot of figures that actually have that. I can think of the Supreme Class Starscream that has that, but the fact that they made more than one character that actually has their own cyber key storage, I think is pretty cool. So anyway, going back to his cyber key ability, if you notice right here on the back of his head, you'll see the cyber key port, and if you insert the key, what it will actually do is it will reveal some beast fangs, just like when he uses them in the show. What I don't like is that when you let go of the key, unfortunately, the key doesn't lock in and the beast fangs do not stay out. So in order to keep those out, you actually got to continuously push on the cyber key. It's an unfortunate, in my opinion, an unfortunate design choice. But hey, overall, I love the design of this figure. They did a really good job with the amount of detail. Okay, so we're going to set him off to the side, and now I'm going to show you a couple features that Backstop has. As you can see here, Backstop also has the Autobot symbol right there on his side. In my opinion, I think that Backstop's beast mode is maybe kind of a callback to the Beast Wars Rhinox figure. It's just kind of one of my wishful thinking ideas. If that was actually the intention here, hey, I think they did a pretty good job. As you can see here, Backstop also has the cyber key port on the back of his head, and we'll just use Snarl's key. And if you insert the key, what you'll get is an extending rhinoceros horn. Now, in the show, he not only used this as a defensive weapon, but there was an episode where there was where a huge boulder was falling down, and it was about to crush some of the other beast bots on the Jungle Planet, and Backstop actually used his horn to stop the rock from falling so the others could get through and get to safety. I think that's pretty cool for like a multi-use tool. And then when you take the key out and you just push it back in, it just clicks right back into place, and he just looks like a normal rhino now. All right. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to get into transforming these guys. So once again, we're going to move Backstop out of the way, and we're going to bring in Snarl. So the first thing we're going to do with this guy is we're going to take his tail and we're going to pull his tail off because his tail will actually become not only a sword, which you can see by the blade right here, but you'll notice that there is a trigger right here, and if you push on it, it will actually make the missile that is mounted in his tail launch. Kind of a 2-for-1 special, which 2-for-1, which I think is kind of cool. We got to set that off to the side, move the cyber key. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to take his legs and we're going to bend them straight down, bend his hips straight down just like this, just like that, because this section right here is actually going to be the front of his waist. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take his leg at the knee right here and we're going to turn it 180 degrees just like that, and then bend it straight, bend that straight, and then we're going to bring the foot down a little bit. And as you do, you'll see that there's this little lip right here, right above my finger. Go ahead and pull on that with your fingernail, and it will actually make a heel pop out for his alt mode. So we'll bring the leg down, straighten it, 180 degrees, and we'll straighten that a little bit more. Grab that little tab right there and pop that out. And there we have Snarl's legs, just like that. Pretty easy to do. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and come over here. Now right here, what we'll do is we'll grab this section and we're going to pull it off of these 2 pins that are right here and right here. They just pin in right there and right there. We're going to go ahead and move this off the side because this is actually going to become one of Snarl's arms. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab right here and right here, and we're going to pull this apart. And there are little pins right here and right in here. Make sure you on his right shoulder, make sure you dislodge this one because this is going to make sure you dislodge the pin on his right shoulder because the head is actually going to become Snarl's right arm. So what we'll do is we'll pop that off just like that and then kind of split it open similar to like butterfly. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip this up on its hinge just like that until it's straight. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn him around, come to the front here, and we're going to bring out the arm. We're going to turn it, and then you'll see that there's like a little slide track right here. Go ahead and push that shoulder up into place just like that, because there will be one of Snarl's arms. Now with the other side, what we'll do is we'll bring the arm down. We'll flip out his hand, which is this light blue piece right here. Go ahead and flip that out. And then instead of moving up, you will actually push that section down. So there we have his right arm and his left arm. But before we can set those up, what we need to do is we need to come back here, flip his beast mode legs all the way around, and then flip them up into these grooves just like this, and bring the foot down because these are actually going to hang off of where his shoulder blades would be. So we'll come over here, bring this down, fold this up, and bring the foot down. And then right here, you'll notice that there is Snarl's head for his alt mode. We're going to go ahead and pull that up out of its compartment right there. And then what we're going to do is we want to fold these back, and we want this peg right here to link into this port right here. So we'll go ahead and bring that back. And as you do, these little ridges right here will actually go up into these little cavities right here. So we'll go ahead and do that. As you can see, it went into that and kind of stopped it from moving. And then we'll come over here and we'll bring this in, get that over that little lip. And sometimes it'll miss. Typically what I'll do is I'll grab right here and just kind of push it together, which seems to work with solidifying the connection between that pin and that port. So just a little trick you can use if you need to. But anyway, so there we have Snarl virtually ready to go. We're going to fix his arm. There we go. So there we have Snarl transformed and ready to go. Now, like I said, with his beast fangs, they don't really. If the cyber key actually locked into there, I think it'd be cooler because then you could have that locked in, and he could have like a spiked claw that he could use, similar to Leo Breaker's claws that he uses when he activates his cyber key. But unfortunately, you can't do that. But that's why we have Snarl's weapon. Now, like I said, this doubles as not only a sword, but also a blaster. So you can actually just go ahead and put it in his hand just like that. And now Snarl is ready for combat. As you can see here, his alt mode looks really good. I think that the amount of detail they put into this, they did a really good job making it as close to his cartoon counterpart as possible, in my opinion. They did a really good job. I especially love the red, yellow, and blue for his body. They did a really good job. But anyway, so there is Snarl. We're going to go ahead and set him off to the side because now we're going to bring in Backstop. All right, so like I said, Backstop's beast mode is that of a rhino. Now, I suppose if you wanted to, while he's in his alt mode, you could use his rhino horn, but it would look really weird having a horn coming off of his shoulder this long, or this far, because the rhino head will actually become his shoulder. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take his tail and we're going to fold it up just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to flip him over. And you'll see that he's got a hand right here. And we're just going to flip that out just like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take these legs. We're going to pull them down just a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll pull down, which will actually reveal his waist. Just like that. And then what we'll do is you'll see that these the legs are on this kind of side-by-side hinge. And what they do is they actually just come down and then peg together with these pins into these ports right here, here, and here. Then you get the pin 1, 2, and 3. And we'll peg those together, which will actually form Backstop's leg. And then it's the same thing on the other one. Just go ahead and bring it down and put all the pins together. And I missed a pin. Whoops, give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so there we have Backstop's legs ready to go. And then we'll take the whole back end of his rhino mode and we'll fold this out and bring this straight and then pull it to make sure that the shoulder comes out of the way. And then we'll turn it, bring it down. And then finally, you'll see right above the Autobot symbol, there's that little groove. Go ahead and flip that up with your finger and that will reveal Backstop's head. Now, in my opinion, I think that they should have made Backstop a little bit bigger because he looks, he doesn't really look like he could help out in a fight a whole lot. But overall, I think Backstop is pretty cool. I have to admit, I like that you can move the rhino head back and forth so he can stick his hand up and give somebody a handshake, or I think I've actually gotten him to hold his cyber key a couple times, but I forget exactly how I did it. But anyway, so there was Backstop. All right, guys. Well, there is the 2005 Transformer Cybertron Snarl and Backstop. If you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to try and do, feel free to comment below. Even hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And if you guys have any ideas, let me know and I'll do what I can. Until then. Bye.